So before you start the witch hunt and start leaving mean comments and death threats and everything, this video is for my community, for people who are interested in what happened on Twitter over the last couple of days, and not necessarily for the people who already despise me and people who already hate me. If you already hate me, if you already despise me, if you don't enjoy who I am or the content that I make, you can just straight up ignore this, because I know that there is nothing that I can say or do that will turn anything around. If you already hate the person that I am, there is nothing this video has to offer that will change your perspective in any way possible. So I messed around and I found out. And honestly, this situation has been blown entirely out of proportion. It's insanely stupid, super stupid, but I'll go through this real quick because I know that a lot of people in my community, they want to figure out what's going on. A lot of people have left. A lot of people hate me now for like different sort of things. So I'll quickly explain what's going on here. And if you want to archive this video, you're free to do so. I don't want this to be like a stain on my account. I did an oopsie, I messed up, I apologized for it, but I want to move forward. So if you want to download this, archive, re-upload it, you're fair to do so. This is not an apology video. This is more like explaining and tell you guys what happens. So on Twitter, I saw that the Shucks plushie was like in a partnership with Makeship. So I was like, I've deleted a lot of the tweets. A lot of things has happened over the last like 24 hours, but I deleted a lot of the tweets or like a lot of the posts. So you're just gonna have to like take me at face value or like go through Twitter and see if you can like find any of it. But essentially, the Erida team or one of the moderators made a plush with Makeship. I tweeted out, hey, can I buy this without the entire community flaming me? Can I, get this plushie without any sort of problems? And the comments were mostly positive. They said that I could buy it, I could get it without any issues. Then I fund or like support the plush. I give them like $2. And then the Erida account disappears afterwards. So I thought that it was because the Erida community and the FNF community was so toxic that they essentially bullied them off the platform. I made a post about it, said, okay, so just because they make a plush, you then bully them off the platform. This is so pathetic and so on. And that gained a lot of traction. And when that started gaining traction, they accused me of using thumbnails and that my community is full of minors. And there's a lot of shit that we're going to go through in this video here. But essentially, people were essentially calling me a hypocrite, calling me out on my takes, not liking the takes that I have, but I don't know the entire picture. I'm not part of any communities. I don't interact with the communities. The only community I interact with is my own community here. So I later on got educated. I know what happens behind the scene with the Erida community. I have refunded the plushie, but I just started kind of joining in on the shit posting. I made a lot of stupid comments, a lot of stupid jokes. Again, they're archived on Twitter if you want to find them, but basically I tried to make a lot of dumb points to just basically do nothing. I acted how Twitter is acting, if that makes sense. I try to just be a part of them, if that makes sense in the end. My biggest mistake that basically snowballed everything was that I did one of the cardinal sins. I did like the worst thing imaginable. I should have people should cut off my tongue, my arms, my limbs. I should be a vegetable after this. I misgendered someone by mistake. Someone made a comment where it was like grown ass man. I don't remember it. It was like, I think I can find it. Hold on. It actually seems, here it actually is. So a person named Roxyfem, they tweeted grown ass man whining about people that didn't like the cash grab Shucky plushie. I just wanted to reply with like an insult, like a one-off insult, which was like, it's actually down here where it's like insecure boy failing to see the bigger picture. And the bigger picture I mean is like, I believe that the Shucks account was bullied off Twitter. I didn't think that they actually deactivated because it was a cash grab. I misgendered them by mistake. I only saw on their profile that it was marked 17 plus. So I was like, okay, if they call me a grown ass man, then I'm just gonna call them a boy, if that makes sense. I could have said girl instead, if that makes any sense. I didn't know that they were transgender. I didn't know that they went by she, her pronouns. I just wanted to do like a fun one-off insult. So I made that insult as like a joke, right? I'm just, going back and forth with the entire like Twitter community drama happening. And then everybody picked up on that. Oh shit, Stan is transphobic. He's a bad guy. We should kill him. Stan should die. Oh my God, kill him. And I saw my mistake instantly when people started calling them out, or they go by she, her. Like if you check on their profile, they say they have like pronouns she, her in their pronouns in their profile right here. Real quick though, before we move on, I did not see their username. I did not see the she, her in their profile. I just saw 17 plus. I knew I could make the insult or make the joke, and then I move forward. So people saying, oh, clearly they have labeled she, her in their profile, and clearly they have like a trans flag. I did not even see it. I quickly clicked, I skimmed 17. I knew that I could make the joke, and then I continued forward. So again, huge mistake on my point, but I didn't see it before people pointed it out. So I immediately start apologizing. I stop my shit posting. I apologize on several accounts. And after this, I'm like 20 tweets down the road. So I apologize. But then the fake screenshots start coming around, if I can find them somewhere. We have this one here where someone took another account. First of all, this is on Discord. The profile picture doesn't match. I don't have a crown on. I know that they're using like another Discord client, but this is not my account. This is like someone made this just for like shits and giggles. I also have a very supporting community. I have a lot of furries in my community. I have a lot of LGBTQ people in my community. I have a lot of transgender people in my community. I am overall a very accepting, a very open, a very respectable guy. But the thing is, if people are, taking their pitchforks, screaming, shouting, and wishing death upon me for just having a take on Twitter, that is when something clicks inside of me. Then I just join in on the shit post and I just have fun because I know in the end people are just shitting for the sake of shitting. So after I misgendered them by mistake, everything snowballed. Fake screenshots started making the rounds. We also have this one over here, if I can find it somewhere. This is the initial comment I made regarding the Shucks plushie, where I asked, is this real? Can I get this without the community burning me at the stakes? And someone changed community into the slur for trans people. I'm gonna censor a lot of this because I don't want to showcase this on the channel here. So people took that and started changing it a lot. Especially there's like one over here that I mentioned where it's like everything is made by bad people these days. And it's funny how people only give a shit in certain occasions. Like, if you really care so much, stop using Twitter because Twitter is made by bad people. Microsoft is made by bad people. Roblox is made by bad people. iPhones are made by bad people. All of the big companies, all of just everything worldwide are made by horrible individuals. And the thing that I wanted to get across here was labels need to have a purpose. There need to be weight on a label before you label someone a certain individual. So just throwing words around like transphobe, PDF file, groomer, and so on doesn't really make any sense unless there's like actual proof showing that that person is what they are labeled as, if that makes sense. So overall, again, Twitter's a hellscape. Going back to the misgendering, what I did was I DM'd Roxy Femme. I believe I have a screenshot somewhere around here. I DM'd them saying, hey, I don't know if you've seen my comments, just wanted to formally apologize. You can easily get lost in the hellscape of Twitter, and that was a slip up on my end. I'm sorry for that. And they were like, okay, it's all right. I didn't mean that it was, I didn't think it was like a big deal. I just thought it was funny. They also mentioned about some gooner bait on my thumbnails. We're going to talk about that in just a moment here. So Roxy Femme and I were on good terms. I apologize. I move forward. So all of the transphobia, allegations, comments, and so on, we can essentially throw out the window. And if my community want to back me up here and like put a comment down below, like I've mentioned before, we have on the subreddit, on the Discord server, there's like a lot of places where we have a lot of furry people. I even made a video on, I don't know which channel it was, I made a video but like showing you that I'm a furry. I have like a fursuit and everything. I am pansexual myself. I am attracted to feminine people. It doesn't matter if you're a guy or a woman. For me, I'm just attracted to like the feminine side. So if I am transphobic, how can I be attracted to that, if that makes sense? If I am a bad person, how can I support these people or like support this community, if that makes sense? If I am transphobic, why did I support the Trevor Project with $800 back in November, I believe? Because we got a makeshift plushie. I promised to donate all the money, and I did that to the Trevor Project. So if I am the HITLER guy of our modern age, then why am I so supportive? I know I had like a little bit of a crash out arc, a crash out section on Twitter, but that does not reflect the person that I am, the person in my videos, the person outside, the person that I am right here, explaining all of this in this situation here. So I think we can close that chapter and say that Stan is not transphobic, because I'm not transphobic. I'm all inclusive. I support everyone. I love everyone. Now, a lot of focus has also been on some thumbnails. I want to go through one of the cases first and then talk about the other case afterwards. Because a couple of years ago, we did an oopsie. We did like a massive mistake, and I found this out afterwards. I played a Deltarune mod called Seek's Cool Deltarune, and I tried to fix this ASAP because I don't want this to be the focus. When it comes to me and my content, I'm human. I can mess up. I know, right? Crazy. Twitter will not allow, the internet will not allow you to mess up. This will be hung above you for the rest of your life because you made a slip up. I will explain this in just a second, but this video here was published with this thumbnail, and shortly after, we managed to get a version fixed where we don't have that appeal anymore for the rest of your life because you made a slip up. I will explain this in just a second, but this video here was published with this thumbnail, and shortly after, we managed to get a version fixed where we don't have that appeal anymore, where we don't have that focus anymore. On the second channel a couple of years ago, I tried experimenting, figuring out what works. You know, do we try some suggestive content? Do we have some sex appeal in the thumbnails? You can even see it now if you go like all the way back on the second channel and even on the main channel. On the main channel, it's been basically forever. Some thumbnails have suggestive themes or sexual themes. Other thumbnails don't have it. It really depends on the content inside of the video. If there's a video that has like a good source for thumbnail, then it's going to be thumbnail, but we also do a thumbnail test. Very quickly, before we move forward, when we do thumbnails for main channel, we do 3 thumbnails. Sexy, popular, and another one. And YouTube has a feature where you can select those 3 thumbnails, and YouTube will auto-select the best one that wins. And guess what? The sexual thumbnail wins every single time when we try to do that test. So even when we do any popular or interesting topics, again, the sexual one will always win. It has been toned down, especially, and there's a couple of people who mentioned out like a Juno thumbnail. I want to see if I can find it real quick. Hold on. Yeah, this one here exactly. This is suggestive content, but it's not really that bad. In my opinions, as someone who has been on TikTok and Reels and YouTube for like the longest time ever, people trying to call me out for this when this is like a TikTok video that is publicly available on other platforms, that's just bullshit in my book. But going back to the Noelle thumbnail real quick. One of our previous employees on the second channel was tasked by making the descriptions for these thumbnails. And when I have to dedicate my time between recording like 15 videos a week between main channel, and at that point I was still editing for the main channel. I was recording for the second channel, sending that off to an editor, and then I was editing my own videos for main channel. So when I checked on the second channel and saw that this one was out, I was infuriated. I was angry because I asked the guy, I'm not going to name any names here because this was an honest mistake and I don't want to send a witch hunt over to this individual. I want to keep them anonymous in this case. But you can take this as it is. You can believe me. You can say you don't trust me. You can do whatever you want. The person who made the description for this thumbnail searched up on Google, how old is Noelle Deltarune? And before Google had its AI feature, they had like a quick search summary. It was like algorithm based. And apparently Google told them that Noelle is 30 because they repeated class in school several times. You can think that's bullshit as much as you want. I personally feel like it's bullshit as well, but that was the information that I got out of them. I do have DMs, I think I've shared them on Twitter or I've shared them on Discord somewhere, where I basically say, so you accidentally commissioned me in a fan art with something else, which is super fucking weird. But after that, we fixed the thumbnail very quickly. They were super sad about the situation. I reprimanded them all the way, told them they gotta do better research, they gotta fix it. I should probably have cut ties with them at that moment, but I give extra chances. I have been online for so long that I know that for example, this one with the misgendering situation that I just talked about earlier, because you do a simple slip up and you apologize for it immediately, the internet don't see your apology. The internet only sees the drama. They see the juicy bit. When you go out of your way and apologize afterwards, they completely ignore that. The witch hunt is already full steam ahead. And it doesn't matter how much you go down and beg on your knees and how much you apologize, they will still go after you. So in that case, I gave them an extra chance because I know slip-ups like this will never happen again and they had to do proper research. So This was a major slip up. We fixed it ASAP and made sure that it never happened again. And after that, we toned down the suggestive content on thumbnails for the second channel. Another thing that people have pointed out is that my community are full of minors and that my content is for children. And I'm just gonna state the obvious right here. My content is not for children. The videos that I make are videos that I enjoy creating and videos that I enjoy editing, that I enjoy reacting to, games that I enjoy playing. You could say that If and If mods and Battle for Dream Island and object shows and other animations are kid-friendly or kids-related. You could say like Digital Circus is like kids-related or kids-friendly, but that's not the person that I am. I swear in my videos, even though we censor the F word. I react to SML, which is not kid-friendly. Overall, I am an overall channel. I listen to what my community say. If they have anything interesting they want me to play or anything interesting they want me to watch or anything interesting they want me to check out, I will check that out. But my channel is not in a specific age group, and it's definitely not for children. I would say that my channel is like a 16, 17 plus channel. Like both of them, essentially. If you are old enough to be on the internet, which like on YouTube, you have to be 13 to have an account, and I believe in like certain locations now, you gotta be like 16 or 17 to get an account. So my videos are for an older audience. And not to compare myself with other creators on this platform, but there are way many people. There are like so many people on YouTube here that does way worse than me. I believe there's like a guy who made like Roblox videos with an OF girl where she would like take off a piece of clothing every time she got a kill or every time he got a kill. So there are people that do way worse than me. And what people don't know is I'm 30, and imagine going through all of this when you're 30. I grew up with ads being sexually suggestive all the time. All the advertisements that I saw on like TV or newspapers were always sexually suggestive. So that is how my brain is wired. And you could say that as like a bad excuse, but once again, my channel is not for children. It is not a kids-friendly channel. We swear, we make adult jokes, we make stupid jokes. Sometimes we may feature like, sometimes we may watch some animations, like I mentioned before, that are like for a younger audience, but young people should not interact with it. And I know like, I know that Dream, he shared like his analytics at some point. He was like, oh, see here, my audience are not children. Then you see like 25 to like 30. My analytics are like the same, but I know that you can't really use that as an excuse because people usually tend to say that they're older than they actually are. If my content is too explicit for people, there are parental tools, there are the not interested button, there are the unsubscribe button. I'm saying that the content I make is the content that I want to make. And YouTube is a platform that has features in place. You have the made for kids tag, you have the age restricted tag, you have the demonetized tag. If anything violates their general guidelines for what is allowed on YouTube, your video will be demonetized, limited, and so on. So we make sure that our videos, they stay close to the edge. I know that the edge is like right here, and I try to be like right here because that is the humor that I have. That is the interest that I have in certain pieces of media and certain pieces of content. So finally, overall, my content, my channel are not kid friendly. And I do believe I have been through everything. And I know this is kind of like a me falling for the rage bait or, oh my God, he made an apology video. I don't even know if I want to like upload this video. I'm just recording it for now to see if it like makes sense to upload in the future. But if people hate you, there is nothing you can do to change their opinion. There will always be thousands of people online that hate me because I overreact and because I react to certain things or because I make slop content or because I do something else. There are always people that will hate me for the person that I am and the content that I make. And you know what? That is totally fine. That is acceptable. That's fine. We are living in a world right now where there's content for everyone. And you not vibing with the person I am and the content that I make is totally acceptable. But what is not acceptable is taking things out of proportion, making screenshots that are fake, that are framing me in a bad light, people that are calling me transphobic, homophobic, people turning the entire narrative around to create a false narrative for themselves in order to further their own narrative, basically making me the new Hitler. Again, I'm gonna have to censor that guy. So overall, I made a fuck up on Twitter. I shitposted a little bit too much. I flew too close to the sun. I have deleted everything because that's not the person that I am. I crashed out for a moment. The only real mistake that I made was that I misgendered someone. And I apologized to them over replies several times. And I also sent them a DM saying, hey, I'm sorry. And they also accepted my apology in their DMs. So I believe I've been through everything here. Moral of the story is this video will be deleted in like 24 hours, and Twitter is not something I'm going to go on anymore. I've learned my lesson. When the merch store opens on March 1st, I'll post the video there, and then afterwards I'll just not interact with anyone. I'll probably still like promote certain things. I'll post like a couple of screenshots and behind the scenes and so on, but most of all, I'm just gonna not interact on Twitter, because if this is really what Twitter is, then it's not really funny. So I haven't been sleeping for the last couple of days. I am extremely tired. I believe I have been through everything. I just want to like double check that we have been through every single thing. About Irida and the entire FNF team, I've gotten some information behind the scenes. I have canceled my purchase of the plushie. I don't want to support them anymore. I'll most likely remove the Shucks cutout as well, depending on if people still find it funny or not. But I know what they have done behind the scenes. Again, I am not part of the community. I am not in any communities besides my own, so I don't really know what happens on inside the communities, if that makes sense. And I believe that's about it. I did an oopsie. I messed up. I apologized to the individuals that are involved in here, and I fixed my issues. So I won't be on Twitter anymore. I'm sorry for all of this happened. I am genuinely sorry for all of this happened. I did crash out, and I didn't really mean to do that. I was just shitposting while everyone else was shitposting. And you can be like, oh my god, 30-year-old realizes that actions have consequences. Yeah. 30-year-old man realizes that people take things out of proportion and creates fake screenshots to further their narrative on Twitter. That is like daily shit on Twitter. Anyways, I think I'm done here. Dinner just came in, I heard. So I'm going to go out and get some food. I don't even know if I'm going to publish this video. If I am, crazy. If I'm not, regular content soon. I think, low-key, I'm going to quit main channel. Or I'm at least gonna change main channel. I have some ideas on like how to fix everything. If people really despise me this much, I might just say, fuck it, I'm gonna head out. So main channel may or may not, depending on views, depending on everything, undergo like a large change. There's a video coming out Friday, I believe, that's gonna be really interesting. So if you guys are looking forward to that, that's great. And I think I'm just gonna head out.